Summer Wells would be 6 years old this February and should be celebrating her birthday with her family, but instead, her family is left holding their breaths, hoping for the best, but prepared for the worst. This is the case of Summer Wells, who went missing nearly a year ago. Until this day, the circumstances surrounding her disappearance have continued to baffle not only the police, but also concerned individuals all over the world. My name is Zach, and you are watching Crime Origin. Little Summer Wells was born on February 4th, 2016, and she is the last child and only daughter of Don Wells and Candace Bly. She has blonde hair, blue eyes, weighs about 40 pounds, and is 3 feet tall. Summer has 3 brothers, all of whom lived at their family house with their grandmother on Ben Hill Road in Beech Creek, Hawkins County, Tennessee. According to her parents' accounts, on June 15, 2021, little Summer was playing outside planting flowers with her mother and grandmother since the early hours of the day. At some point, she got bored of planting and asked to go inside to play with her toys instead. After much persuasion, she was given permission to go indoors and was seen walking through the door and heading to the house. Upon entering the house, she walked past her brothers, who were on the internet playing games, and headed downstairs into the basement where her toys were. And that was the last time anybody saw her. Some hours later, when her mother came into the house, she met the boys still at their games and asked where Summer was. They, of course, had no idea where their little sister was, having been so engrossed in their video games. Deciding to go to find her daughter herself, Candace then proceeded to head down to the basement to check, calling out her name as she descended down the stairs, but there was no answer. On reaching the basement, Candace discovered that it was empty and there was no sign of little Summer, only an unlocked basement door leading outside the house. The Wells immediately began searching for Summer and even alerted the neighbors who joined in on the search. Seeing how the neighborhood search wasn't turning up any leads, they decided to report to the police. Summer's father was not home at the time and was only alerted when his wife called to let him know that their daughter had gone missing. After a fruitless search, Summer Wells was declared missing that same day, and soon enough, police put out a missing person report with her description online. According to the report, Summer was last seen wearing green shorts and a pink shirt. On that same night, with the help of police and neighbors, over 70 people assembled and went in search of little Summer, but to no avail. In addition to a ground search team, the Tennessee Highway Patrol's aviation unit alongside Ballad Health's Heart Air Service provided aerial support for the search. But that wasn't all. News of missing Summer spread quickly that day, and other agencies, governmental and private, all lending their support in searching for the little girl. The Churchill Rescue Squad, the EMS, EMA, and Fire Department, alongside the Sheriff's Office, all joined in on the search. By 12:07 a.m. on June 16th, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation upped the missing persons report to an endangered child alert for Summer. With the help of her parents, more photos of Summer were released on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram on the police handle. With the search still not turning up any valuable leads, the TBI upgraded the endangered child alert by 11 a.m. to a statewide Amber Alert, thereby mobilizing all police stations, border, and highway patrols to join in the search for the missing child. The Sheriff's Office reported that while the search was well underway, a lack of communication was impeding the progress, as there was virtually no cell service in the area. By 4 p.m. on the 16th, police officials held the first press conference addressing the public on the progress of the search and soliciting the public's help in searching for missing Summer. At this point, the FBI had already landed in Hawkins and were actively assisting in the search and investigation. The FBI specifically focused its investigation on the Wells family, questioning everybody to determine if it was a case of neglect or if any members were actively involved in the disappearance of Summer. The TBI requested that residents of Beech Creek and nearby areas check potential hiding places on their properties, such as sheds, crawl spaces, barns, and basements, as well as trail cameras for any evidence. By 8 p.m. the same day, more than 26 hours since Summer was declared missing, police released another progress report, stating that they had no suspects or vehicle descriptions at that point, adding that it would keep the public updated as the case progresses. By Thursday the 17th, the police revealed that everybody was a person of interest, as circumstances surrounding the disappearance were unusual. The police found no evidence of forced entry at the Wells residence, no trails or tracks around the house, and nothing out of the ordinary that would suggest how Summer wound up missing. At this point, the search crews had covered a 2-mile radius around the Wells residence and had found no indications or evidence that could help the case. The TBI had received more than 50 leads and tips from concerned individuals. However, none of them panned out or led to anything concrete. Summer's father, Don Wells, made his first press statement to the public talking about how he felt Summer went missing in the first place. "We know that there are people all around the world praying for her safe return. So many people love her. She would never leave our hill. I think that someone snuck up on her and grabbed her. I don't think she's in the area because the dog goes down to the road and that's the end of the trail. But I don't know that for a fact. The way that she just disappeared, she would never do that." By day 3, the search for Summer was heightened as more resources were poured into Hawkins County to aid in the search for the little girl. A dive team was brought in to search the lakes, creeks, and ponds that surrounded the Wells residence. In addition to that, a hazardous terrain team, as well as an urban search and rescue team, were all deployed to assist in the search. A state-allocated tactical radio system was also brought in to improve communication between all teams and agencies involved in the search. By now, over 1,000 acres had been covered by search teams, combing through woods, properties, and water bodies in search of anything that could point to the whereabouts of little Summer. They had searched dozens of private properties, not needing to get a warrant, as every owner was cooperative enough to let them search their homes. Churches in Hawkins County held vigils for Summer, with some of them holding regular meetings and prayer circles for Summer's safe return. Don Wells and one of Summer's brothers even attended one of these vigils where Don spoke to the press about the toll the ordeal was taking on the family. Social media was abuzz at this point, with rumors and speculations swirling around the disappearance of Summer, most of which were directed at her parents. Many cited that neglect was the primary cause of the disappearance, blaming both parents for not better looking after their daughter. Others were not so candid, and straight up accused Don and Candace Wells of being involved in their daughter's disappearance. They speculated that the Wells were either abusive to little Summer or were simply responsible for her disappearance. In response to this, the TBI released a statement asking the public to refrain from unfounded speculations, and that all avenues are being explored with regards to the case. Of course, this didn't do much to quell the buzz, which only got worse when the family revealed that although Summer is blonde, they had cut her hair down to a buzz cut only a few days prior to her being missing. This came as a shock, as the photos the Wells had released to the police and media showed Summer with full hair, which was very misleading. This was because, with a buzz cut, anyone who sees a child fitting Summer's description might dismiss it, as they would be expecting to see a child with a full head of hair. If she was indeed abducted, her kidnappers could easily pass her off as a boy, and no one would be the wiser. Like that was not bad enough, more revelations about the Wells family put the whole situation on a tailspin. And at the helm of it all was the fact that apparently Summer wasn't the first person in the family to go missing. About 5 years before Summer was born, her aunt, Rose Marie Bly, had also gone missing in Polk County, Wisconsin. She is also yet to be found, but police made it clear that both cases weren't remotely related, with the only link being the family ties. A potential break in the case came when police identified a pickup truck that may have driven past the Wells residence on the day Summer went missing and might have seen or heard something that could help the case. The truck was described as possibly a red Toyota Tacoma, carrying a full-bed ladder rack with white buckets in the back. The TBI sent out a notice stating the driver of the truck was not a suspect, but could be a potential witness, and was asked to come forward with any information they might have. So far, no one has come forward claiming to be the driver. After 12 days of searching, with no new developments or leads, authorities announced that they were scaling back the search for Summer. Rough terrains and harsh weather physically and mentally affected the crews as well as volunteers. The search would still be ongoing, but there would be a reduced grounded presence and crews would begin working with tips and door-to-door searches instead. With the search scaled back, a reward fund was created to pay for any valuable information leading to the rescue or discovery of Summer Wells. While initial donations raised over $2,000, two anonymous donors wrote checks of $10,000 and $25,000 to be added to the reward fund, drastically increasing the reward fund. As of October 2021, the funds were standing at $58,000, which would be donated to the Child Advocacy Center if no news turned up by June of 2022. Suspicion and news buzzed back to the Wells when on October 14th, Don Wells was arrested and charged with possession of a handgun while under the influence and domestic assault. The charges were brought on after an incident with his wife, Candace, but they were later dropped. This incident came shortly after both parents had passed a lie detector test from police during the initial investigation into Summer's disappearance. It also followed the event that saw social services take Summer's 3 older brothers into custody 6 weeks after her disappearance, an action that Don Wells revealed was carried out due to the dangerous circumstances surrounding their home. Donald Wells told the press that he and his wife had come under threat from the media, even receiving death threats, which drove him to start drinking heavily. He also stated that strangers were approaching them on the street with threats and even trespassing on their property to make accusations. The couple flew to Los Angeles to film an episode with Dr. Phil, which aired in November of 2021. They also started a YouTube channel where they spoke about Summer in hopes of keeping the search for her alive months after her disappearance. They also talked about the backlash and bad press they've been receiving working with YouTubers and social media influencers. The family started a website, findsummerwells.com, a site where people can find information on the progress of the case, photos of Summer, her description, and contact information for any news or leads regarding Summer. To this day, Summer Wells is yet to be found, even in search efforts cutting across over 2,000 acres around the Wells residence and hundreds of homes and properties in Hawkins County. There are no official suspects or indications of kidnapping in the case, which police have stated is odd for such a case. There remains a present effort to rescue Summer, and here's to hoping she is found safe and sound.